few of those in the oldsurfdad.shop. If you want one. God, I started out with an ad. I don't want to start with an ad. Tbone, how you been, man? Good to see you.
Mate, no, going well, buddy. It is so fresh over here, and going to Indo in a week's time. Going to Teahupoo Island, so can't wait. Absolutely frothing.
So stoked for you, man. Just real quickly, want to hear the boards that are in your board bag. What's going in your quiver?
Still working it out, but I'm taking a 6'4" pin drop Smith shape.
Nice.
Which has got the quad option and the thruster option. A 6'3" Synergy sharp eye.
All right.
And the third, I'm not sure. I'm just going to see what the swell's doing, whether take my twin fin or take a step up 6'6". We'll see how we go.
What's the forecast look like for over there?
Mate, it looks like 2-3 foot the first couple of days. Then we get a little bit of a pulse, maybe 4 to 6 if we're lucky. Yeah, we'll see how we go. You know what? The differences between swell net and surf line are miles apart. Like
Really?
swell net seems to pump it right up, whereas surf line is sort of on the opposite spectrum. So it's quite crazy.
Well, it's good to hear that. And speaking of surf forecast, Tbone, the surf forecast for what we're talking about today, the Tahiti event, is outstanding, and I can't wait to get there. But first, I want to talk about this. I spent the week at the CS, and I want to just throw a controversial question to you right out of the gates. Tbone, for WCTers to go into a CS, is it a dick move, yes or no?
Yeah, it's a dick move, yeah, for sure. Because I've got plenty of Aussies there that I want to see get valuable challenger points to requalify. No, I'm not a fan of it. They shouldn't allow him in there.
Yeah, it's interesting. I brought up this conversation in our Discord chat. You can join it by going to oldsurfdad.com, and there's an invite in there. And it was 80-20. I'll say most people think it's a dick move, but I did respect and like some of the 20%ers saying that, there's money there that they can get. And there's also this unique situation where these 4 women, all 4 of them went in, that are in that they got cut, but they're making the season next year. And that's Bella Kenworthy, Brisa Hennessy, Vahine Fierro, and Lindblad, who won. And, dude, you're right. They decimated their side of the bracket, taking out Sophie McCulloch, who looked super strong, Ellie Harrison, Kira Pinkerton, Sally Fitz. I mean, the list goes on. And on the men's side, Oscar Berry and Xavier Huxtable were casualties to the men's CT. And I think where it becomes possibly a dick move, I'll just say it, Kanoa Igarashi is number 3 in the world going in to an event where people are trying to qualify, who's affecting their careers. And that was my take in the Discord. What do you think? Tell us in the comments below. Tbone, it was a pretty cool event, and I have a lot to say about it, but this is more about Tahiti, but I do have a couple of takes. Did you watch the event? Did you watch it at all? What's that?
Did I watch it? I couldn't even see the waves, man. I just watched 2 people sit in the ocean.
Well, it started small. Dude, 2 of the days were as small as I've ever seen Huntington leading up to it. In fact, the longboard event, I'm glad it was the longboards because it was this big a couple days, and I'm out there. By the way, I was Yolanda's filmer. I love being part of that team. Such good energy, and I filmed her all week. I'm still a little sunburnt, and she was keen to go, whether it was 1 foot or it ended up on finals day, overhead with bigger sets. Like, we actually had waves at the end.
Holy shit! Was that the tsunami?
I know.
Was that the tsunami feeling it?
Dude, the funniest meme I saw. What is this? A tsunami for ants? from Zoolander. That was, if you didn't get that reference. But dude, snapshot, the coolest thing that happened, like Yolanda's gnarly. Okay, let's just say she trains and is at the beach every day before anybody. And I'm on the 4:45 arrival. Yolanda's in the water at 5. And thank God my camera has an infrared setting so I can film what I filmed on finals day. She took an overhead wave and cracked it 2 times and went through the pylons, and shot the pier. And the camera couldn't even see. It was so dark through the pylons. It was insane, dude. So that was my fond memory of that morning. And it was just a cool week. And one of the
is it a bigger? Is it? Sorry to just cut you. Is it a bigger crowd than Trestles? Is Huntington a bigger crowd than Trestles?
I think that it's probably a larger crowd, but not. Yeah, it's a larger crowd. It's a larger crowd because Trestles has that barrier of the walk down to the beach and all. But Trestles, I feel like, is a better, I don't know, a more natural environment for a surf event. Whereas Huntington's like, it's more of a almost Rio party type of situation, but it's a lot of like booths promoting products and all kinds of interactive things for people that don't surf, whereas Trestles is more aimed at true surfers or fans of surfing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Should it be on the Challenger?
Should it be on the Challenger?
Huntington Beach.
I think the better question is, should it be on the QS? I don't know, dude. I had this conversation with several people that I think what they really want is views online that are measurable, that they can sell to bigger sponsors. This party on the beach thing is fun, but ultimately I think that's made for people who aren't as into surfing. If you want to get people into surfing, build the core and the rest will follow. Like, I'll get on my soapbox and start saying all that, but
yeah,
I don't know. Wave-wise, dude, at the beginning of this event, I would have said, man, never have this event at Huntington again. And then by the end of it, I was like, okay, we got swell. They were lucky because it was a south and a northwest kind of combo swell, and it had peaks. And I mean, there were some good waves. Mateus Herde gave himself a 10. He didn't get it, but there was. I won't even use the word contestable. There were some fun waves the last 2 days of the event. The longboard event was shocking. You didn't want to have that, but
yeah, mate. I saw Jacko Baker paddling for a wave in his heat, and I swear to God, it was up to my knees. Like,
yeah,
it's so hard. It's just to see those guys go down in those sort of waves. I mean, everyone's out there. Everyone's out in the same conditions. But the bigger guys, obviously, it doesn't suit them. Like,
no, I absolutely agree. And Jacko is one of those that would have trouble in waves like that. And on the first day where they're trying to run through the men's round of 80 or whatever that number is, 64, there were so many casualties of those types of power surfers that we want to see on the CT that are stuck in 1 foot waves. I mean, Jacko's such a great example, and there were others as well that didn't make it through. Yeah, and I mean, what do you think? Should Huntington be a CS event? I think I know the answer. What's your thoughts?
From a core surface point of view, no. But from probably a business perspective and sponsorships and yes, and it won't go anywhere. It did look quite busy on the beach, and it's bringing people to the beach, and there's companies investing money into promoting their products, and then for the greater good of trying to promote surfing. But there's two angles to look at it, mate. Let's just be thankful there's a Challenger Series structure in place, and there's events, and there's companies willing to sponsor these events. I mean, look at Lexus. It's not a surfing brand. Lexus are pretty much sponsoring the whole surfing tour in 2025. There's Lexus Tahiti Pro, Lexus Trestles, Lexus pipe. I mean,
and
man.
Lexus US Open. Like, thank you, Lexus. They're a legit sponsor, dude. And somebody sold them on this event, which no, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
You need more Lexus. Hey, did the winner get a Lexus?
No, you're looking at what the winner got. They got a cool trophy that has a piece of the pier, like a replica of the pier on it. I think that looking at these two, and Sawyer, you know, she wins. She's on the CT more or less. Levi has a lot of qualifying points, but them holding the trophy, Tbone, there's something about, just like winning a bell, there's something about, I don't know, there's some kind of cachet that goes along with winning a U.S. Open. And unfortunately, like winning in the beach break oftentimes is an indicator of future performance or making the CT, whatever that would be. And there's been some event winners that have gone on to more success, is what I'm trying to say. I wish it wasn't like that. I'll trade a traditional event for an event with better ways, and I think we can do better. But, you know, it was a good event. It was well run. It's just the waves, it's the complaint. And, you know, the WSL did a good job, dude. It ran well. WSL. Yeah, I'll give them credit for a pretty good event. I didn't have to see commercials. For those of you who listen to our Jeffreys Bay rant, you would think that that event sucked, but I maybe got a couple stares, Tbone, at the event. But at the same time, like, there's a lot of fans out there. If I met you out there, it's so good to see you all out on the beach. A lot of fans out there, Tbone, shouting us out for the picks, and we're going to get to some fantasy picks. We may have spent way too much time on the CS. Let's jump into it, dude.
Let's go, mate.
I have a Shark League just to talk about that.
Holy shit.
And our very own Tbone is at number 5 to bring home. I promoted this off to the side, and I think there's 40-something people in there. It's like $800 to win, and the sniper looks good, man. The sniper, Silver Surfer, Boogie Border, that's my friend Glenn, and Totally Nar. They're in contention, but they're going to have to upset the sniper. And Tbone, you're going to have to basically, you're the Connor O'Leary trying to get into the final 5. If all of them tank, then you have an opportunity. Robbo. Yeah, you're Jack Robbo. You have the opportunity to take home the $800. And if you want to get involved in the Shark League next season, jump in and go to the website and get on the email list. All right,
dude. If I'm Jack Robbo, who are you at 21? You're like David Silver.
Dude, that is, I'm going to take that. That is true. I'm probably lower than David Silva. I'm a QS Charger at somewhere. I'm in the middle. And let's go on to Jeffreys Bay. Vanilla Brazo, congratulations. You won Jeffreys Bay. You had a pretty good margin there over some of the others. And overall, we're going into, Tbone, the overall last event. This is it. And Captain Banks has a pretty good lead, but I would say that Party Waves, Reese, Barrel Banditos, Mateo, some of the others have an opportunity. And you know what I haven't shown, Tbone? There's a book, and unfortunately I have green screen. You can't even see the book because it's green screen, but there's a Waves book that they get, and it's signed by, let me open this up. You see that?
Dude, what are you...
Look, it's signed by it's signed by John Florence. And that's it's a cool coffee table book. Here's a picture. I don't know. It's a cool book, and that's going to the winner. And if you want to get involved in that, I close that at the cut, and I close the Shark League at the beginning of the season. And you can join. Just get on the mail list, and I'll send you all the invites for 2026, which... we got a lot of announcements on 2026 that we're going to break down in future shows. And, dude, I've lost my voice. I was screaming and talking so much over the last few days. I'm hoping to make it. But this is what really gets me excited. This Teahupoo. And, by the way, we're going to say Teahupoo or Chopes. We're going to pronounce everything wrong. Go ahead and get in the comments and, as you always do, and tell us how to say it right and that we're kooks. Tbone, how do you say that top line?
I'm just calling it chopes.
Smart move. Teahupoo surf forecast, Chope surf forecast. Tbone, look at the first day.
Wow. When's
Look
the
at the
waiting
second
period
day.
start, mate?
It's right there on the graphic. August 7th through August 16th, and there's only 2 days in there that are 4 feet, 4 to 6, 4 to 5. There's two
Mate,
down days. There's
Is
two
that surf line? Wow.
major swells. That's Surfline, by the way. Thank you, Surfline. And I saw Callie Vost in the competitors area, and Yolanda's coach John is buddies with him. And they were talking, and Callie was showing us his phone, and he was saying, "You know the last swell that Matahi got that wave on? This swell's bigger than that one, and that's the one that you see the two first. That's grayed out, the 15 to 20, those 2 days." And I think the winds, that's not that the wind is a bad wind. It's just, I think it's hard offshore, I think is what that is.
Is it a tow? Is it tow conditions, or is it
I
still
have a
paddle?
feeling, when it's 15 to 20, it's a tow situation. But I can tell you, Tbone, we're going to put this show out, and you're going to start to see highlights and clips like nobody else. This is going to be pretty epic.
And the world's best are there now.
And the world's best are there now. We're going to talk about some of the, I don't think I put the graphic in here, but who have you seen, Tbone, and some of the Instagram posts over there?
Well, just the locals. Like, I've only just watched a couple of clips here and there, but it's just been all the local charges. Matahi, the wildcard, once again, I don't want to butcher his name. He won the trials. What's his name, mate? You're good at pronunciation.
I'm not, and when it comes to these names, I'm not, but Mihimana Bray, I believe is how you say it. We're going to talk about him in a moment, but I was talking about CTers that are over there. I saw Molly.
CTers.
I saw some Molly
I've seen
some
Idolo.
posts, and we've seen Elo, and also Marco Millon's over there. And I actually saw Jordy at the U.S. Open, and he said he was on the way there the next day, so he's probably there now. I think everyone's going to start showing up for this big swell. I also saw Aaron Brooks is there. I'm curious to see what their highlight clips look like, but it could be gnarly. And you brought up Matahi or Matahi. I don't know how to say his name either, but dude, if you haven't seen this, he has a YouTube channel, and he has a video that's Checkmate is what it's called, and it says best ride of my life in Teahupoo. And there's a lot of clips out there, but this one takes all of the clips from different angles and puts them in this video, and also gives a background to the board that he rides. Have you seen this thing, Tbone?
I have, mate. You know, you think about foam ball rides. That is got to be the most craziest foam ball ride I think I've ever seen. I mean, if anyone has anything in the comments about the most craziest foam ball ride in history, but that would have to be one of them. Is something about Chopes. It's incredible, man.
Yeah, and the way that he positioned and maneuvered perfectly in that barrel, he was so high up on top of that foam ball, pinched on there, and he just kind of angled and just used body mechanics to come out. It's a really amazing ride. I'm sure everyone's seen it, but this video in particular of Matahi describing the board, and it's a beat-up board, and I don't want to take up too much of the story, but he tells a good story about the board, and it's a cool video.
Whatever it is, man, it's a magic carpet that is a magical ride. It's like he was just gravitating. It's almost like he was just airborne, flying like a magic carpet. It was incredible.
And the drop, he knifes the drop perfectly, and he says, I think he said he almost like ate shit, and that's a quote, like 5 times, and it looked like he maneuvered perfectly through it. It's great. It's a great video. Check it out. I'm gonna have it in the link in the description, and I look forward to more clips coming. Hey, Tbone, let's talk about this guy. The only downside of this event is the fact that I think one of Tahiti's greatest CT competitors is not going to be in that event, or not. I know he's not going to be there, but I rank him as one of the best Teahupoo competitors, or even maybe surfers. God, that's going out there. The guy is so silky smooth there. Tbone, your reaction? Do you think that he's one of the best CTers to ever ride Teahupoo?
In short, yes, mate. Hey, listen, 3-time world champ. This is what I read from a Brazilian media outlet, right? So Medina's asked for event wildcard, but the WSL denied the request because the wildcards are already reserved for Cali Vass, the Olympic gold medalist. It's his home break.
Fair enough.
I think that's fair enough. And the trials and the winner of the trials, which is also consistent around the world, they have to run trials. So, I mean, WSL, that's a pretty fair thing to do, if you ask me. But then for Lejo Monitz to injure himself and the WSL to offer Medina a wild card, and he gets the shits up and says no, mate, you could have come back. It's pumping. You could come back and actually win it. You know, it's yourself. That's why are you doing it to yourself? Like,
are you calling that a dick move, Tbone?
Pretty close, because you can't justify. I mean, you can't justify. I mean, you can justify the WSL's reasons why. It's very consistent.
It is,
but he's been offered an injury wild card. He's the first person to be offered it, right? It wasn't offered to Kelly, or, I mean, I reckon Kelly would have taken it. Well, Kelly's seen the forecast. Kelly would have been there in a heartbeat. Medina, come back and put it on a show for us. You'd probably win it. What are you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm going to give a little bit of a devil's advocate on this one and say to you, that announcement when he went to the WSL was all the way back in March when they denied him. And again, I think it's fair enough. What happened was Lejo Moniz wasn't injured until Jeffreys Bay a couple weeks ago. And Gabriel Medina said he had a previous engagement, or he had something he needed to do. And that was his excuse. And it's probably bullshit. And he's probably got the shits, and they probably should have somehow figured out a way to get him in there. But we're all missing out because of this. And I would have loved to see.
And he's missing out.
And you know what? You're right. He is missing out. I would have loved to see him compete there. I love watching him surf the place. And I'll say the same true for Kelly. But Kelly was too busy surfing trestles with his wild card.
Oh, he suffered.
If you remember, we went a whole deep dive on that.
Oh, jeez. Imagine Medina. Medina would have absolutely upset the apple cart coming into Chopes with the final 5 needs to be decided. He could have crushed some dreams.
Yeah, that would have been a real wild card. Like, exactly.
Ooh,
crushed dreams.
Gnarly. Yeah. The most gnarliest wild card you can imagine, if you ask me, apart from being, one of the Tahitian legend locals.
I think you're right. Gnarly. He is the gnarliest wild card. And let's look at the actual wild card. So here's what we got. The 2 wild cards are pretty obvious, and if you want, go ahead and power surf them on your team. WSL wild cards are Vahini Fierro and Cali Vost. The trials winners are, this one's interesting, Tbone. I want to save Miss Teahupoo for the end, but Mihi Manabre has been in the event before. I actually picked him last year, and he had a decent run. I think he got to, I don't know if he got to the quarters, but he got me some fantasy points. He's not a bad pick, and I think he'll thrive when it's bigger. And then this other dude, I can't even say that name.
Who is this other dude?
I went and I did a deep dive, couldn't find very much. He's 35 years old. I saw a video of him in the QS on a right in Tahiti. I know nothing about him as far as Tahiti and as far as Teahupoo or Chopes. Let us know in the comments if this guy's a good pick, but I'm not going to pick him, Tbone.
So is he just a complete random, or did he actually come runner-up in the trials?
No, he didn't come runner-up.
Wow.
Meo Sirmac or whatever his name is. I think what this guy is the CS or QS highest ranked surfer in that area in Polynesia. I think that's how they came up with that. And
dude, but he's got no ranking, man. He's got no points, no ranking.
Dude, I think he like surfed in a contest once in Tahiti and they put him in. I can't explain it. It's more of the same. Like, you know, it'd be cool if the WSL said, okay, here's the wildcards, and like put a little snippet of here's their background, here's a video. Like,
yeah, he surfed a couple of QS 1000s. Okay.
Right. Like, tell us why you selected him. Tell us what the thinking was. I know nothing about the guy, and hey, I'm trying to make fantasy picks here, you know, but I know enough that I'm probably going to avoid the guy. Somebody in the comments tell us what you think. And the final one is Miss Teahupoo. Kalia, I'm not going to say the rest of that name, but congratulations to Kalia. She won the trials, Tbone, and the trials were in small waves. I actually saw some of this, and she's a good little surfer. She's 12 years old, dude.
Incredible.
She's 12.
Incredible.
And the last time I saw someone this young, I can't remember in surfing. Dude, I watched the X Games, and there's a skateboard event, and there's this little kid, and he's 9. He's a Japanese kid. He's 9 years old, and he's in the X Games. And I thought that somebody let their kid out to go play on the ramp, and then he dropped in and was, you know, just absolutely ripping. But I digress back to this. The girl's 12, and somebody reached out to me and said, hey, did you know that competitors have to be 13? And I was like, what? So I went and looked into it, and I actually pulled up. There's an age requirement, and ChatGPT helped because I went into the WSL handbook like the nerd that I am. I couldn't find it, and you can't really search it. But there was something that said to become a member of the WSL CT and CS events, you have to wait to register for a WSL sanctioned event, QS and CS. To qualify, you must be at least 13 years old. Registration must be done by a parent, and so on.
But this is a CT event. It's not a.
But the other thing that's tricky is this is a wild card in a CT event, so I guess anything goes. But it's just interesting because she's 12 and it's about to be 10 feet, and I don't know what they're gonna do. Is that going to influence the wave choice the day that they run? You know what I mean?
Oh, the men will start for sure.
I think the men will start for sure, but the next day is still 8 to 10 in Epic. They can't just run men's heats the whole time. They're going to have to run. Let's go back to that for a second, Tbone. I'm going to go back to, look at that. The first day of the waiting period is 10 to 15 foot, okay? The next day is 8 to 10 feet. That can't be all men's. They're going to have to run women's on one of those days.
Run the women, man. Run the women.
I think you have to.
We've got to stop thinking this way. Women, man, get out there. It'd be all
there's
time.
Women. There's women who want that. Tati wanted that. I'm going to tell you right now, Yolanda Hopkins wants that. She wants that bad.
Wow.
And she's not afraid of that. And there's a lot of others, and there's quite a few, and I'm not going to name names here, but there's quite a few that don't want that and will vote against it. And I think if you waited till Saturday, 6 to 8 feet, I don't think that's fair to the women that want to charge. We're professional surfers on the CT at the highest level, and the waves are presenting themselves. Maybe it's time. And we did it at Pipe that one year, and they showed up, and it was a really cool part of history.
So can we finish the whole men and women in 3 days? Is that possible?
Well, let's go back to that. It is possible, but if I was the WSL, I would run the 2 days there, first 2 days, or just pick the best of those sessions, depending on the wind. And then look at that on the 12th and 13th, you've got another swell, another proper swell that you could get a finals day out of that swell.
This looks so good.
It looks so good. And remember, J-Bay. No, sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I hope it delivers, mate. Like, I'm thinking they'll probably run the opening and elimination rounds for the men's, and then get to round 16 and stop, and then the girls throw the girls out.
Yeah, and then have finals day in epic surf. Remember, last year was really good when Indo won. It was pumping. And I'd like to see that happen again. I mean, this forecast is as good a forecast as I've seen. And J-Bay let us down a little bit at the front end of it, but this looks so solid, especially for that 10-day waiting period. All right, so let's catch up. We move on to, you sent me a text that it was Goofy dominated. Can you back that, Tbone? I have a bunch of notes here. And unfortunately, Dill could not do a spreadsheet because he's in Indo getting waves like you're going to be next week. You dog.
No, mate, I just looked at the last 20 years. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's been some natural footers that have won Tahiti, but the Goofies seem to have the nod at Chopes. So, I mean, you look at, apart from Jack Robbo in 2022 or 23, I mean, you got Italo, Miggy. If you just look down that list of past winners, there's a lot of goofies. So if you were looking at your fantasy team, I'd be throwing a few more goofies in the mix than naturals. That's just my take, especially when it gets bigger. Unless you're John or you're Kelly. When it gets bigger, I think it's favour the goofies. Is that Cole Hauschman in the pit there, mate?
That is Cole Hauschman from last year, and he surfed really well, but went out, I believe, in the round of 16. Did you pick him? I have a feeling you did. I can't remember, but I want to jump on that. I as usual, geeked out and crunched a bunch of numbers, but I'll tell you the stat that I looked at was more recent history, Tbone, and in the last 3 years when they've come back to Teahupoo since COVID, it's 67% goofy advantage. Vahine and Caroline, and then Courtney Conlog in 2022. Those are the 3 years, and then before that it was 2006 and it's like Melanie Redmond Carr and surfers that people probably don't even know who they are, except for real nerds like us, and I know there's some of you out there. But let's also look at the men's side, the last 3 years since COVID. Elo, Jack, and Miguel Pupo, who you mentioned, that's 67%. And then the 2 years before that was Owen Wright and Gabriel Medina. And Gabriel Medina's won it a couple times. And, yeah, I think it does favor the goofy for riding the tube, for... they always say technical tube riding, and I think people are like, what's technical tube riding? I think it's being able to maneuver in position inside the barrel as it changes, adapting to the barrel. And even though Teahupoo looks like a runner, go watch Matahi's wave and you'll see what we're talking about. Tbone, you want to look at some heats, or you got any other comments about that?
No, mate. No. Let's look at some heats.
I'm into it. What I've done is I've taken the first 4 on the left side of the bracket, let's call it, and then the next 4 will be on the next slide. But I've put a green box around that first heat. And for those of you in the podcast, here's what we're looking at. First heat, Heat 1, Elo Ferreira, Miguel Pupo, Seth Moniz. I think that is an outstanding heat, especially on an 8 to 10 foot day. That is going to be a banger right there.
Oh man, Seth is going to send it.
I think all 3 of these guys, and remember Miguel Pupo, as you mentioned, is a former winner, and he's done really well at pipe. I mean, it's a different way, but that guy loves to charge pits. All 3 of them do. 72% fan favorite picks there. Heat number 2 is Kanoa, Jake Marshall, and Cali Vost. 65% are back in Cali Vost, 28% Kanoa. You know, Kanoa's over there playing around Huntington Beach. He's
opening around, man. He's opening around against Olympic gold medalist, though. Come on.
Against the Olympic gold medalist, better strap your helmet on, mate.
He's freaking riding 1 foot Huntington. What's the preparation?
I mean, facts. Like, if I was doing this deal, I wouldn't care about a silly trophy.
Last event. It's the last event, man.
I'm third place. I would secure. I mean, he's pretty secure in making the final 5, but you know, 1 place means a lot when you're in the finals. And he has no shot at first place, but and we know how important that is. But I think that, yeah, secure your position. Let's look at Heat 3. Jordy's going to have his hands full here. 51% of the crowd think that he's going to win, but he's against Crosby Colapinto and Mihimana Bray. And, dude, both those guys bring it in the barrel. Jordy's no slouch, but, dude, that's a tight heat.
It is. They all charge. Yeah, it's a crazy heat. Crosby will go. So will Geordie, the local boy. That's a crazy heat. That could be not good for Geordie.
I think that's tough for Geordie. I could see Crosby winning that heat, to be honest, and he's got the least amount of fan votes for him. Heat 4, Yagadura, Joel Vaughn, and the guy that I can't say his name. I'm going to try it. Tiva Taroa. Yeah, Taroa. That heat, I think Joel Vaughn is underrated here. He is a absolute barrel charger. Tbone, you back in that?
It's probably his first CT at Tahiti. I still think he's probably a bit light. He's only a little kid. He's still just a young little lad. I think he'll go missing at sea.
Wow, I'm gonna back him just because he packs Indo bowls. Let's see. T-Bone question: it's Joel Vaughn or Marco Mignon. Which one is going to win Rookie of the Year? Because it's on this event. It's Joel and then Marco in the rankings back to back. So the winner of this wins Rookie of the Year.
No shit. Oh, well, hey, I'm going for Joel Vaughn every day of the week. I
thought you'd change your mind.
Even though Joel is an Aussie, I actually prefer his style, his surfing style. To me, it's much more pleasant on the eye. Marco rips too, but it's just a style preference for me. But Joel Vaughn, let's go, buddy. But I'm sorry to say, big chopes, first CT, you're going against Yago, who's experienced, and the local lad that we know nothing about, and he doesn't even have a face.
Doesn't have a face. In the podcast, he's just grayed out. It's just some Facebook. You haven't even put your profile picture in yet. Yago should run away with that. 82% for Yago, and I think they're right. The other side of the bracket, here's the next 4 heats, and it's going to be Ethan Ewing, Cole Hauschman, and Rio Waida in Heat 5. I think that Cole should win this heat. He's only at 38% with the fans. Who would you pick in that heat, T-Bone?
Cole or Ethan? Mate, Ethan packs it. I'm
writing him off, mate.
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you? You just come straight from Huntington. You're all pumped up.
Dude, I come straight from 2 foot Huntington, and I'm here to talk about chopes.
All right.
I'm running my takes. Heat 6, Griffin Colapinto, Connor O'Leary, Al Cleland. Great heat. That's 54% fan picks for Griffin, 32% Connor, and only 14% Al. And I think that goes back to what you said with Joel Vaughn, lack of experience. But, Al Cleland can pack a tube.
He'll send it as well.
Yeah, that's a great heat. Looking forward to it. If you have any thoughts, let me know, or I'm going to move to Heat 7. Your power surfer Felipe Toledo is there with Leonardo Fioravanti and Joao Chianca.
Wow, fan picks. I'm surprised the fan picks didn't have Zhao over Philippe.
I
No
am
disrespect to Philippe, but Zhao charges.
equally surprised. Joao has not done well here, and what's crazy about that is his clips of free surfing here are pretty impressive. But he has not had I think he's got ninths, or not even. I think he's got a 17th. I had it in the surf metrics. And we'll probably get to that when we make our picks. Yeah, he's only surfed in competition here once, and he got a 17th. I think he could be a pretty serious threat here for the win. He charges. And then Heat 8 is my favorite heat, and that is Jack Robinson, Baron Mamiya, and Marco Mignon. And I think Marco is probably going to have the hardest time here. Only 7% of the fans back him. 67% for Jack Robinson, and Baron Mamiya at 26%. Dude, Baron is going to love these conditions. He's going to love this. Just like mate, Jack. Yeah. Those two are going to got to be frothing, mate. That's going to be a great matchup. That's my heat. I think that's my heat of the first round.
Yeah. Yeah. The two best tube riders, backhand tube riders on tour, if you ask me. And both will send it hard.
Yeah. Can't wait for that heat. And obviously, we're going to be getting into it probably the first day of the waiting period. I say obviously. We probably will. I'd be surprised if we didn't. Let's move on to the women's T-Bone.
Let's go, mate. Let's get through
it. There's 4 heats in the women's because of the numbers. Heat 1, Isabella Nichols, Betty Lou, Sakura Johnson, and Erin Brooks. Erin Brooks is leading that charge with the fan picks at 45%. I like Erin Brooks here. I've just, based on some of the clips that I've seen of her surfing, I don't know about Isabella Nichols in conditions that are large. And Betty Lou, I can tell you my take, T-Bone, on her is she did well at pipe, but most of that was at backdoor. I do not know how well she rides large left barrels. Question mark, but I wouldn't put it past her to just charge. Your thoughts?
Dude, listen, at the start of the season, I picked Erin Brooks to be the youngest rookie world champ.
Me too.
So she has to win. If she wins Chopes, she is looking pretty good going into Fiji. So we'll see. Listen, this is for Erin to show the world that not only she's just like this little sweet little innocent girl, but she is an absolute charger in serious waves. So I can't wait for her. And how old is she, mate? 17, 18?
I believe I think she's turned 18 now. And she just signed a deal with Nike. And there's a lot of surf news out there, T-Bone, that you and I are going to break down. We're going to get the show rolling after this season with a lot of, I'm going to talk to you about it, like a weekly surf news kind of update and talk about things like that. But let's move on to Heat 2. Molly Picklum, Lakey Peterson, and 12-year-old Miss Teahupoo, Kalia. And they actually have Kalia above Lakey. The fan picks 21%, but Molly 71%. It's hard not to back Molly in that heat. And I can't wait to see what your picks are in Tier A, T-Bone. And the other Tier A surfer will be in Heat 3, Gabriel O'Brien, Tyler Wright, and Vahine Fierro. Interesting heat, but I could see Vahine running away with that. Your thoughts?
Mm-hmm. Yep, agree, mate.
Heat 4, fan picks, 47% backing Katie, 40% backing Caroline, and then Luana Silva with 13%. Dude, I picked that as my heat of the opening round just because anytime Katie and Caroline are matching up, I think that is going to be a good heat. I think they bring out the best in each other. It's a goofy versus regular. Curious to see what happens there.
Yep. No, another great heat. I'm I'm not feeling the Caitlin Simmons vibe at the moment.
I'm not either, dude.
I think she could go out here. I think Marksy needs it more. Marksy looks like she wants it more. I mean, she's sitting currently 6th. And listen, it's only like 300 points between Caroline and Betty Lou. So,
hey, let's jump into that. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm going to jump right into the next slide. Actually, let's start with the women. Let's go to the women. We have the final 5 is Molly, Gabrielle O'Brien, Katie Simmers, Isabella Nichols, and Betty Lou Sakura Johnson. But on the other side of that is the possibilities are mostly Caroline Marks, Tyler Wright, and Lakey Peterson are in a position. No, not Lakey Peterson. More of Caroline Marks, Tyler Wright are fighting. God, not even. Wait, I'm off here, dude. Let me finish this up. Let me say it like this. Molly, Gabriella, and Katie are locked in. Okay,
I'd say so. Yep.
It's confirmed that those 3 are locked in.
Yeah.
Gotcha. There's three women fighting for 2 spots. Those 3 women are Isabella, Betty Lou, and Caroline. Sorry, I misspoke. Though if they perform and at least get to the quarters, they're in, and one of them, whoever places the highest, or the 2 that place the highest, are going to be in the final 5. So Caroline has a shot here. And if you were to pick Tbone, who would be your pick for the final 5 in those 2 positions?
Well, I'd have Aaron Brooks for 1.
And you're going to need them. I have the notes here. You're going to need those ladies to completely shit the bed and then Aaron win the event. Aaron needs to win the event. So do any of them in the top 10 from 6 through, not 6 through 10, from 7, 8, 9, 10, Tyler, Lakey, Aaron, Luana, to...
I think Marksy being a goofy will favour her. So, listen, it's a flip of the coin between Isabella and Betty Lou. I'll go Betty Lou and Caroline. If nothing crazy happens and Aaron wins, so I'd say Isabella out, and I'd give it on Betty just with her Hawaiian pedigree. She would have taken a few out at Pipe for sure. So, and Marksy's she's a winner there. I just think the goofy will favour her out there, because I don't think as many women can really thread that tube on their backhand that well. I mean, I haven't seen, and hopefully they can prove me wrong.
Yeah, and I just pretty much agree with everything you said there. And Caroline being the gold medalist out there, having surfed several times in heats there, and I remember she got a few tubes in the Olympics. I think she's going to be definitely a favorite. I see her in the final 5, and Betty Lou's Hawaiian experience is going to help her. I don't know if the miracle would happen, but Aaron Brooks would have to win, and maybe Isabella or one of the 3 we talked about, completely tanks in the first round when it's big. It could happen, but I seriously doubt it. Let's go back to the men. The top 5 in the men, 1 through 5, are Iago, Jordy, Kanoa, Italo, and Ethan. And then just outside is all of these guys, especially, it's basically, again, 3 men fighting over those last 2 spots. So Elo, Ethan, and Griffin, whoever gets the highest score in that range, or whoever places the highest, is going to make it. You understand what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
To say it again, it's basically a contest between Elo, Ethan, and Griffin. You place the highest, you're in, because there are only 1,000 points, roughly 1,500 points separating the 3 of them. If they tank, then that opens up the door for Jack Robinson and Baron Mamiya, who both of them could easily win this event. I also don't mind Leo here. But I mean, we're not
even... That's a long shot. Yeah.
I mean, not to make the final 5, but I don't mind Leo at Tahiti, whereas Felipe, I mean, we're not even talking about Felipe here. And if... Hey, no disrespect, but I think Connor has a better chance. And if everyone completely tanks in the first round or something, Connor has this whiff of a chance to make it into the 5 position. Probably not going to happen. Tbone, any other thoughts on that final 5?
Jack Robbo will win like he did in 23.
Wow.
And he'll make the final 5.
Sounds to me like we have just found T-Bone's power surfer. Jack and you and all of West Dawes are counting on one of those 3, Elo, Ethan, and Griffin, to completely flame out, and it's not unheard of. You're not backing Ethan as much as you were a minute ago because he could be a casualty that gets your boy Jack Robinson in there. Let's see what happens.
Let's go to fantasy, I reckon, buddy.
Yeah, fantasy picks is the next video. We will sign off on this video. Check it out. There'll be a link at the top where you can go and see our fantasy picks. We're going to rifle through those pretty quickly. Thanks for joining us. You.